Android 13 was released with much fanfare in August 2022, and the Google Pixel 7 Pro and the smaller Google Pixel 7 were the first phones to launch with the new OS. In contrast to its predecessor, Android 12, this release only offers a handful of updates. It's more focused on making refinements and fixing up little bits and pieces here and there that were left over after the big Material U interface overhaul that Android 12 brought to the table. Like Android 12L, Google's tablet and foldable focused midterm update, Android 13 is less exciting, but it still comes with some select quality of life improvements for Android phones that are eligible for the OS update. System UI changes. Apart from all the Material U color magic, Google made a few more tweaks to the system interface. The new, bolder navigation bar will probably be the most obvious one when you update from Android 12. The Pixel launcher's new search experience. Android 13 unifies the look and feel of both search experiences again, but they still remain slightly different. And then the new search experience hasn't even been enabled for everyone following the stable update to Android 13, so it's just plain confusing at this point. Android 13 improved privacy features. Privacy is a difficult concept on Android. After all, Google is an advertising company that lives off the data people share with it. But the company is still trying to make the process more transparent and make it harder for bad actors and malware to access data that isn't needed. Google will likely never go as far as Apple went with the Ask App Not to Track prompt that cost Facebook billions of dollars in ad revenue. But small improvements are sprinkled here and there in Android 13. Android 13, light on new features. I think we've established the theme Android 13 isn't the most feature-heavy release. Nevertheless, there are some exciting Android 13 features you'll want to check out, like improvements to permissions, a game-changing enhancement for multilinguals, and some split-screen and big-screen shenanigans. Notification improvements. Every year, Google changes at least a little bit on the notifications front. This year is no exception, but the company is thankfully doing a lot less than usual. In Android 13, apps can no longer send you notifications right after you've launched them for the first time. Per app language options. In another act of catching up with iOS, Android 13 has finally introduced support for changing your preferred language on a per app basis. For multilingual people like me, this is a game changer. In earlier test versions of Android 13, the per app language options could be applied to any and all apps, but that changed in more recent betas closer to the launch. Now, only apps that have specifically declared support for multiple languages get the option to switch to a tone different from the system, and that's a shame. Split screen regressions and big screen improvements. Android 12L and then 13 introduced some much needed tweaks for big screen devices like tablets and foldables. But in the process, Google made it more cumbersome to use split screen layouts on regular phones. On Android 13, you still need to enter the recent screen and then tap and hold the app icon on top of the preview to start split screen mode. However, Android 13 then only lets you pick other apps from the recent screen to start split screen mode with. The interface no longer lets you access all apps on your phone. Android 13, exclusive Google Pixel 7 features. The first Google phones to launch with Android 13 are the Google Pixel 7 and Google Pixel 7 Pro. The devices are some of the best Android phones right now, and the software is part of the reason. As with every Pixel launch, Google decided to make a few features exclusive to the latest phone generation, and this isn't any different for the Pixel 7 and 7 Pro. Overview. When we called Android 12 your phone's biggest update in years, it was clear that there was no way that Google could keep up with this pace with the next full version release. But that isn't even necessary, and it wouldn't be a good thing. The Android 13 release is mostly concerned with establishing Android 12's big changes as the new standard, and thus it's an Android release with the least visual changes we've had in a while. Instead, Android 13 focuses on introducing smaller quality of life enhancements and quick refinements, which is really all Android needs at this stage. With Android 13's next beta phase already underway for the first quarterly platform release and Android 14 now looming on the horizon, it's clear that Google will focus on more refinements in the future. We can only hope that this trend of gentle changes that don't fundamentally change the look and feel of Android phones will continue as the platform becomes more mature. We are going to end this video right away. If you have any query or information to share, please leave a comment below. Thanks for watching.